It is Tuesday, March the 7th, as the NBA season rolls right along. Been about a week since we were with you here at Betsafe. It is good to be back. Been a profitable season thus far. We hope to keep it rolling tonight. Only 3 games on the slate, but I'll be involved in all 3. Let's go ahead and get started in Oklahoma City, where the Thunder host the Portland Trail Blazers. OKC a 7-point favorite at Betsafe, 223.5 the total in this game. This is a big game for both these teams. OKC right now, the 7th seed in the Western Conference, so they're fighting for playoff positioning. Portland, meanwhile, 2 games out of the 8th and final playoff spot out west, so each game now really big for the Portland Trail Blazers. And this will be the 3rd time these teams have met since February the 5th. Back on February the 5th, the Thunder beating the Trail Blazers 105-99 at home in OKC. Then Portland returning the favor up in Portland just 5 days ago, beating the Thunder 114-109. So these teams have played 2 very competitive games in the past month. Be interesting to see what goes on tonight. As we said, each game now very important, especially for Portland. You look out west, there's 7 teams, OKC being one of those 7, that seem locks for the playoffs. And then there's a fairly big gap, a few games between the 7th seed and the 8th and final seed out west. So if Portland wants to make the playoffs, they really can't afford too many more losses here over the next few weeks. And as we said, just coming off a win over OKC 5 days ago, the Blazers have been playing some pretty good basketball here lately. 2 straight wins, and since the break, they have really come alive offensively. They have scored 115 points per game in their 5 games since the All-Star break. To put that into perspective, in the 6 games prior to the break, the Blazers did not reach 115 one single time. So with that week off around the All-Star break, maybe their coach Terry Stotts figured a little something out. They certainly have been playing much better offensively over the past few games. And OKC on a 3-game losing streak right now, and where they've had problems is on the defensive end. The Thunder have allowed 104 points or more in 9 of their past 10 games. And we know when the Thunder struggle defensively, it is perimeter defense where they have the issues. They're pretty good in the paint defending the rim. They have some shot blockers, but perimeter defense sometimes, this OKC team, not very good. And Portland, of course, they have one of the best guard tandems in the entire NBA. I'm talking about Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. If you've been having trouble defending the perimeter, you do not want to see these guys, Lillard and McCollum. They combined for 51 points back on February 5th, 49 points 5 days ago, and sometimes they go off for more than that, 60 or 70. These guys certainly have the ability to produce that type of offense. Look, I think 7 points here. OKC, I know they're playing at home, but a 3-game losing streak. Portland has been playing well these past few games. Big game for both teams. And as we mentioned, they've played 2 very competitive games in the past 32 days or so. So I think 7 points, a big number in this spot. Too many points in my mind. I think Portland has an excellent chance to win this game outright. But even if they don't, I think there's a good chance they keep it really close. Like we said, the Thunder have been having problems defensively, and Portland really on a roll offensively right now. So this a tough matchup for OKC. I think 7 points too many. I am on Portland +7. Moving on now to Dallas, where the Mavericks host the LA Lakers. Dallas a 10-point favorite at Betsafe, 204.5 the total in this game. Now the Mavericks just 26-36 on the year, so at first glance you might say, hey, 10 points, that's a lot of points for this Dallas team to be giving. And in a lot of instances, I would agree with you. But in this case, I'm not so sure. The LA Lakers are really, really bad. They have lost 7 straight games. They might be the single worst defensive team in the NBA. 27th in points allowed. They're surrendering 110.8 points per game. And 30th, dead last in opponent's field goal percentage. The Lakers allow the opposition to shoot 47.9%. Their minus 6.9 point differential, the 2nd worst in the NBA, better than only the Brooklyn Nets. And look, we mentioned 7 straight losses. This is such a young team here, the Lakers. You get the feeling, you don't want to say they're quitting on the season, but I'm not sure after watching a couple of their past 7 games, certainly doesn't look like they're putting forth maximum effort. Not sure guys like Nick Young are going to approach tonight's game in terms of a do-or-die mentality, must get this win. Don't think that's where these young Lakers are at right now. And as we said, they just don't guard anybody. The Mavs, on the other hand, have been playing good basketball lately. They've won 2 straight games, just 2.5 games out of the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. And they've really been doing it offensively. Their offense has really perked up over the past few weeks. It began with the addition of point guard Yogi Ferrell. They originally signed him to a 10-day contract. This guy's an undrafted rookie, but he played so well on that contract, they've since locked him up for a couple of years, and Ferrell has continued to play well. And his backcourt mate, Seth Curry, looking like his brother Steph lately. He has really been lighting it up. Of course, Dallas plays with that small lineup with Dirk Nowitzki as their nominal center. But the Lakers, not particularly big themselves, so I don't think that's really going to hurt them tonight. Nerlens Noel has been a really nice addition for Dallas off the bench, giving them about 30 minutes a night, some much-needed rebounding and shot blocking. Really sort of like the role this Dallas team is on right now, and they have beaten the Lakers 13 straight times. Now, the Lakers especially bad on the road, just 2-15 in their last 17 road games. So, look, I think the 10-point number justified tonight for the Mavericks playing at home. I am on that side of it. Moving on now, the final game I'll be involved in on this Tuesday, March the 7th. What about the Phoenix Suns hosting the Washington Wizards? The Wizards only a 3.5-point favorite at Betsafe, 225.5 the total here. I say only a 3.5-point favorite because the Wizards, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and the Suns have one of the worst records in the entire NBA. So it's not a surprise that early on here, as of the time of this recording, this game here has been one of the most popular public bets. Over 90% of public money at the sports books that report such things coming in on the Washington Wizards right now. I don't know about you, but that makes me a little bit nervous. Would make me very nervous if I were a Wizards bettor when I see over 90% of the public money coming in on that side. But again, it's understandable. The Wizards have been better than the Suns this season. They've only met once this year. That was way back in November, and the Suns gave them a game. Even though it was in Washington, the Wizards pulling out a 106-101 win. You look at the Wizards' last two games, it's not too obvious yet because their record isn't too bad over the last 10 games, but you look at their last two games, I think there's reasons for concern. They lost to Toronto 2 games ago. They beat the Orlando Magic in their last game, but just by 1 point. The Magic, not a good team. The Wizards won that game 115-114. And they've actually allowed 114 points in each of their past 2 games. So not playing very well right now on the defensive end. And this Phoenix Sun team, they can score the basketball. The Suns averaging 114.7 points per game in their last 4 contests. We mentioned the Wizards have allowed 114 in each of their past 2. The Suns have changed up their rotation a little bit since the All-Star break. Guys like Brandon Knight and Tyson Chandler have been shown the bench. Guys like Tyler Ulis and Alan Williams have been getting some run, and they've been playing quite well. As we said, this Phoenix team, they've been scoring the basketball, and they have been winning. The Suns have won 3 straight games, all 3 of those wins coming over teams who would make the playoffs as the season ended today. I'm talking about Charlotte, Oklahoma City, and Boston. So look, the Wizards might be hitting a bit of a, you don't want to say rough patch, because they're just 1-1 in their past 2 games, but they certainly haven't played well over their past 2 games. And the Suns may be playing their best basketball of the year, having won 3 straight. They really have it rolling on the offensive end. I think Phoenix might be a sneaky play here as a 3.5-point home underdog. We mentioned the last time these teams met was a very competitive game. Wizards, despite playing at home, winning by just 5 points. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd have faith in Washington. Minus 3.5 on the road here tonight. I am on Phoenix in this game. There you have it, folks. Those are my thoughts on this Tuesday, March the 7th. I like the Portland Trail Blazers +7 on the road in Oklahoma City. I like the Dallas Mavericks -10 at home against the LA Lakers. And I like the Phoenix Suns +3.5 at home against the Washington Wizards. Folks, I wish you best of luck no matter what you decide to do tonight, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests. Enjoy the games.